Hello and welcome to the first video on the Talon Reads channel. Today we're going to be looking at my favorite SCP story, SCP-610, The Flesh That Hates. Object Class, Keter. Apologies if I stutter a few times during this, I'm still new to it. Initial reports of SCP-610 came directly from the Russian government through undisclosed communication channels. These reports consisted mainly of disappearances of farmers and villagers in the region and were not considered until the local police, followed by the regional police, and finally a government-dispatched agent all failed to report in within a 72-hour time period. A small military contingent was dispatched to the area and quickly withdrew, at which point the Foundation was contacted to investigate. The area SCP-610 affects is close to Lake Baikal in southern Siberia. Incursions into the perimeter must be immediately reported prior to conducting, confirmed during, and immediately debriefed upon returning. SCP-610 appears to be a contagious skin disease, with the symptoms first appearing as a rash, itching, and extreme skin sensitivity. Within only 3 hours, the disease will cause blemishes resembling heavy scar tissue to appear on the chest and arm areas, quickly spreading down to the legs and back within an additional hour, and fully consuming the victim within 5 hours. Exposure to higher temperature vastly decreases the time for the contagion to spread, and complete infections have been recorded occurring in as little as 5 minutes. After the completion of the infection occurs, the victim's life functions will cease for approximately 3 minutes, after which the time they will reanimate at 2 to 3 times the activity rate of a normal human. After this, the scar tissue on the victims will start to move of its own accord and grow at an extreme rate. The normal human features start to disappear at this point under the infection's growth, and the path of mutation appears to be mainly random. Subjects observed in this stage of infection have been seen growing 3 or more limbs of a type such as arms or legs. The head may become misshapen or elongated or widened out, and parts of the subject may split open, which branches of flesh and bone will grow from. The duration of this stage of infection is unknown, and not all subjects appear to progress to the later stages of the infection. Under unknown conditions, an infected individual will cease moving and place itself in a location it deems suitable, where it will root itself down. The fleshy mass on the victim will then begin to spread itself across all surrounding objects and consume them. Such objects do not spread the infection as living creatures do. However, the effect of prolonged contact with these objects is recorded later in this document. It is assumed that this behavior is to create an area hospitable for continued growth of the under-infected. Observation of the life infected and created by SCP-610 by staff is impossible. Those infected with the disease immediately seek out aid as natural human impulse, resulting in unintended infections. Those infected past the scar tissue phase actively and aggressively attempt to infect anyone approaching them within an undefined area. It has been seen that should an infected be capable of sight and observe an uninfected, it will proceed towards them. If the infected has lost the ability of sight, a range of approximately 30 meters is considered safe. Observation of SCP-610's infected settlements has been established using artificial methods such as remote drones and robots. The data returned from these observations and excursions, coupled with the openly aggressive nature of the infected to attempt to spread SCP-610, has resulted in Keter classification. However, so long as nothing is allowed to enter or leave the infected areas, it is considered a neutralized threat. Of concern are the cavernous areas beneath the infected settlements that were discovered during the exploration, and attempts to get research personnel into these areas are currently underway. Thank you so much for joining me for this brief reading. I am still quite new to this. I only really started doing this at request of my friends and girlfriends. So I hope you enjoy, as I do plan on reading more of these stories. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.